Alright, welcome to LG Tranquility Maths Academy, bringing calm to mathematics. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Wafithu. La yetsi mana ba hae. Today ke tshwere le paper se le ke grade 10 mathematics June 2022. So re bona re etsala mo ke. Ka 2022 na ba etsa combination. It was paper 1 and paper 2. So you see this is paper 2, but I'm going to do only paper 1. So right, la yetsi bana go high from me LGM. No stress, no pressure. Re tlo etsa maths easy bana ba go high. So re bone ba botlhe re tsama bjang. This is grade 10. Question 1. Question 1. We are given that 1.1. That's saying that given k equals to 0.37 recurring, then show that k can be written as a rational number. So we need to show that k can be written as a rational number. Now the question is, what is a rational number? A rational number is a number that can be expressed as a over b, but where b is not equal to 0. This is a rational number. In simple terms, a rational number is a fraction. Right, now we need to show that 0.37 can be written as a fraction. So we have 0.37. 7 is the only number that is recurring. So now, the first step that you're going to say, you'll say let, because they're talking about k here, so I will say let k equals to 0.3, then 7, 7, 7. So 7 is the one that is recurring. Then I'm going to write 4 numbers or 4 digits after the radical point. So I will say this is my equation number 1. Then I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 10. So 10 multiplied by k, that's going to be 10k. Then 10 multiplied by 0.37777 will get what? 3,7777. And this is my second equation. Then I compare the first equation and the second one. So I'm going to compare question one, again, the first equation and the second equation. Then we check. After the radical point, do we have same digits? No. Here we have 37777. Here we have 7777. So I'm going to multiply again equation 1 by what? By 100. So 100 times k is going to be 100k. Being equals 100 multiplied by this, it's going to be 37,777. And this is my third equation. Then now we check. We compare equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. Do we have the equations that are the same? Yes, equation 2 and 3, because after the radical point we have 7777, even here 7777. So that now I'm going to say equation 3 minus equation 2. Why I'm saying equation 3 minus equation 2? Because equation 3 is the same as equation 2 after the radical point. Then now 100k minus 10k, you will get what? 90k. Then 37,77777 minus 3,7777 will get what? 34. Then from here you know what to do. We are looking for what? For k. So we divide by 90, and what to do on the left we also do on the right. So which implies that our k is going to be what? Then you can utilize your powerful machine if you have, which is your calculator. Then if you divide 34, divide by 90, you'll get 17 all over 45. Then if you can press SD, you must, when you press 17 over 45, then you press SD on your calculator, you must get 0.3, then 777777. Then now, k is a rational number, because 17 over 45 is a rational number. I hope it's clear. Then 1.2. 1.2 are between which two consecutive integers, thus the cube root of 100 lie. So remember, the word consecutive, it means we follow each other. We know that the cube root of 100, it is 4 comma something. So which means this thing, it lies, now you'll say, here, you're going to find the cube root from 100 going down and the cube root from 100 going up. So obviously, I know I'm going to have 64 being less than, then you write 100 being less than. And then, again, You know that from 100, obvious, you know that 5 cubed is what? Is 125. So I'm going to have what here? 125. Then the next step, you replace the cube root now. The cube root of 64 is less than the cube root of 100. Is less than the cube root of 125. Then what is the cube root of 64? That's 4. Then this one doesn't change. Then this one, it's 5. Therefore, the cube root of 100 lies between 4 and 5. So this is the final answer. I hope it is clear. All right. Now we move to question 1.3. 1.3.1. They're saying that simplify, we need to simplify x minus 1 over x into x squared plus x or plus 1, then plus 1 over x squared. So we need to expand and simplify this. So if you can check this is difference of 2 cubes. So more, this is factorization, but the difference of 2 cubes. So for us to expand this and simplify, we'll say this times this multiplied by this multiplied by this multiplied by this multiplied by this and this. Then let's check what do we get. Then from here, so this one, as I said, is a difference of 2 cubes. So the final answer is going to be x cubed minus 1 over x cubed. Because of here it's minus, then it means plus plus. Then now let's see, x times x squared will have x cubed. X multiplied by positive 1, that's positive x. X and positive 1 over x, that's positive 1 over x, because x will cancel with 1x. Then you're left with 1x. Then negative 1 over x multiplied by x squared, that's negative x, because x squared divided by x, that's x. And then negative 1 over x times 1, that's negative 1 over x. Negative 1 over x multiplied by positive 1 over x squared, that's negative 1 over x cubed. And then we'll have what? X cubed. This will subtract with this will subtract with this, then we're left with minus 1 all over x cubed. This is our final answer. I hope it's clear, Banama go high. 1.3.2. 1.3.2, they're saying that we need to simplify 5 to the power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 9 to the power x minus 2, all divided by 15 to the power 2x, then minus 3. So now we need to simplify this and find the answer to this. So we're going to use loss of exponents. So this is the same as 5 to the power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 9 can be written as 3 squared, all raised to the power x minus 2, all divided by 15 can be written as 5 times 3, all raised to the power 2x minus 3. Then let's apply loss of exponent. 5 to the power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 3 to the power 2 times x is 2x. 2 multiplied by negative 2, that's negative 4. All over here, we use loss of exponent, there's 1. Then you keep the base, which is 5. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 multiplied by negative 3, that's minus 3 times. You keep the base 3. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 multiplied by minus 3 minus 3. Then from here, we are dividing parts of the same basis. What do? We subtract the exponents. So 5 to the power 2x minus 1, this one, it becomes minus 2x minus 3, multiplied by 3 to the power 2x minus 4, then you subtract 2x minus 3. Then let's simplify. 5 to the power 2x minus 1, negative and positive minus 2x, negative and negative positive 3, multiplied by 3 to the power 2x minus 4, negative and positive minus 2x, negative and negative positive 3. Then this is the same as 5 to the power 2x will subtract to 2x minus 1 plus 3 is 2, multiplied by 3. 2x will subtract to 2 minus 4 plus 3, that's minus 1, which is nothing but 5 squared divided by 3, that's going to be 25 over 3. That's our answer. 25 over 3. I hope it makes sense and it's clear. Babotle, we understand. Then, all right, so let's do 1.4. 1.4 here, they are saying that we need to factorize 2 over 3a squared minus 1 over 3a cubed e minus 6b squared plus 3ab cubed. So let's group. This is the same as 2 over 3a squared minus 1 over 3a cubed b plus 3ab cubed minus 6b squared. So now let's group. This is factorization by grouping in pairs. So we're going to group this one and this one, this one and this one. So now let's factorize. Then there's a common factor of 2 over 3, we have 1 over 3. So we know 1 over 3, it is inside 2 over 3. So 1 over 3 is our first common factor of a squared, a cubed, then a squared is our second common factor. Now, 1 over 3 into 2 over 3, it goes how many times? 2 times. Then a squared into a squared once, then minus 1 over 3 into 1 over 3 once, then a squared into a cubed, you'll be left with ab, close. Then here, we have a common factor, which is what? Our common factor, we're going to take out what? We have 3ab cubed and b squared. So positive 3b squared into 3 into 3 once. Then b squared into b cubed, that's going to be ab. And then 3 into negative 6, negative 2 times. Then b squared into b squared once. Then if you can check this and this, they're the same. But this one is positive 2, this is negative 2. Then this is negative ab, this is positive ab. So I'm going to change a1. Then 1 over 3 a squared into 2 minus ab plus 3b squared. Then you take out minus as a common factor. Then negative times negative 2, that's positive 2. Negative and positive ab, that's negative ab. Close. Then now, this is the same as what? 1 over 3 a squared into 2 minus ab. Then positive 3b squared multiplied by negative 1, that's negative 3b squared into what? 2 minus ab. Then we have a common factor now, they're the same, which is 2 minus ab into this into this once, you're left with 1 over 3 a squared minus this into this, you're left with minus 3b squared. But still here, you can still factorize. This is, let's check, 3 divided by 1 over 3. So we can still take out 1 over 3 as a common factor here. So we'll have what? We'll have 2 minus ab. We take out 1 over 3 as a common factor, we'll be left with what? A squared minus 1 over 3 into 3. 3 divided by 1 over 3, we get what? 9. So we'll have minus 9b squared. So this is the same as 1 over 3 times 1. That's 1 over 3 into what? 2 minus ab. And then into a squared minus 9b squared. So this is difference of two squares. So we'll have 1 over 3 into 2 minus ab. You open two brackets. A times a for a squared, then 3b times 3b plus minus. That's our final answer. Which brings us to the end of question 1. I hope it makes sense. I know it's long. Guys, but I wanted you guys to understand. Every step, it is pivotal. God bless. Peace. Question 2. Question 2, they are saying that solve for x, 2.1. We need to solve for x, 3x equals to 6x squared. Please, guys, if you see something of this nature, don't be, don't get tempted to divide by 3x because you are now eliminating one solution. So just take this to the other side. So we'll have what? You take this to the other side, you'll have 6x squared minus 3x equals to what? 0. Then there's a common factor, which is what? 3x. You take it out. 3 into 6, 2 times. X into x squared, x times. 3x into minus 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Then here you apply the what? The product 0 factor law. A multiplied by B equals to 0. This implies that A equals to 0 or B equals to 0. I'm going to apply that. So 3x equals to 0 or 2x minus 1 equals to 0. Then divide by 3 here. So we have 3x equals to 0 or 2x equals to positive 1. We take this to the other side to divide by 3, divide by 0, divide by 2, divide by 2. Then x equals to 0 or x equals to 1 over 2. I hope it's clear. Alright. Then you get, it was 4 marks. Then now 2.2. 2.2, they are saying that's all for x. We have 3 all over x plus 3 being equals to 2 all over x minus 1. Simplification of fractions. So you cross multiply. 3 multiplied by this is going to be 3 into x minus 1 equals to 2 times this is 2 into x plus 3. 3 times x, that's 3x. 3 times negative 1, that's negative 3. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3, that's positive 6. You group the like terms. 3x minus 2x, x. You take this to the other side. 6 plus 3, 9. That's the value of x. I hope it's clear when I go higher. Alright. 2.3. 2.3, they are saying that solve for x, we have 3 to the power x plus 1 minus 3 to the power x minus 1 equals to 24. So they're saying that we need to solve for x. Always, if you are solving and you have between your terms, you have minus or plus, you must think of a common factor. Now we're going to break this using law number 1. 3 to the power x plus 1 can be broken as this. You can break this like this. Then minus this one is the same as this. Then being equals to what? 24. You break this using law number 1. A to the power m times a to the power n is the same as a to the power n plus n. So now this expression is in this format. Then now you take it back. Then now there's a common factor which is 3 to the power x into this will be left with 3 to the power 1 minus this into this will be left with 3 to the power minus 1. You close the bracket equals to 24. Then we'll have what? 3 to the power x multiplied by, this is 3 minus 1 over 3. So 3 minus 1 over 3, which is nothing but 9 minus 1. Right, 9 minus 1 is 8. 8. So it's going to be 8 over 7 equals what? 24. And then 8 over 3, not 7. Then now, from here, you have 3 to the power x times 8 over 3 being equals to 24. You divide by 8 over 3, you divide by 8 over 3. So 3 to the power x is going to be what? 9. Surely it's 9. So 24 divided by 8 over 3. 24 divided by 8 over 3. That's 9, yes. It's 9. Then 3 to the power x equals, 9 can be written as 3 squared. Therefore x, same basis, you drop the exponent, x equals to 2. I hope it's clear when I go ahead. Then you get, it was 4 marks. Then we have 2.4. 2.4, they are saying that solve for x. 3 minus x over 4 is less or equals to 6. So this is the inequality. You solve the inequality. So from here, you can take this to the other side. So we'll have what? Minus x over 4 is less or equal to 6 minus 3, which is 3. Then from here, you can cross multiply. Or you can just multiply by 4. So we have minus x over 4, which is equals to this. Then you can multiply by the reciprocal of this. So you multiply by negative by what? By 4. You multiply by 4. Then we'll have what? 4, we'll get rid of 4. Then we're left with minus x being less or equals to 3 times 4 is 12. Then we have minus x is less or equals to 12. We divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Once you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality sign changes the direction. Now it becomes greater or equals to negative 12. Then now here they just said solve for x. They never said represent your solution on a number line. So then question 3. Question 3, they're saying that change the subject to R in the following formula. 3.1, we have E equals to E over R plus R multiplied by what? By R. So we need to change the subject to R. Now the subject of the formula is E. Now we need to make R subject of the formula. Now the question is R. So this is the same as E equals to, you know, when this is over 1. When you multiply fractions, numerators together, denominators together. R times E. That's going to be RE all over R plus multiplied by 1. R plus R. This is over 1. You cross multiply. So we'll have RE being equals to what? E into R plus R. And then this is RE equals to E times R, that's ER, plus E times ER, that's ER. Then you take this to the other side, you'll have RE minus ER equals to ER. Remember, we need to make big cap R subject of the formula. You take out R is our common factor. So we'll be left with E minus E equals to ER. Then we have R into big E minus small equals to ER. Then we divide by what? We want R. You divide by E minus E. You divide by E minus E. This will cancel with this one will divide. Then R equals to ER all over E minus E. That's our final answer. I hope it's clear when I go high. Everyone understands. Now, 3.2. 3.2. They're saying solve for x and y simultaneously. So we have 6x minus y minus 4 equals to 0. We'll say this is equation number 1. And then again we have 9x plus 1 equals to negative 2y. Then we'll say this is equation number 2. We need to solve for x and y simultaneously. So from equation 1 is the simplest. I'm going to make y subject of the formula to avoid fractions. I take this to the other side, which implies that from equation 1, we know that y, I take y to the other side is going to be what? 6x minus 4. Then this is my equation 3. Then I substitute my equation 3 into equation 2 because we haven't utilized equation 2. Then from equation 2, we have 9x plus 1 being equal to minus 2y. So I'm going to have 9x plus 1 equals to negative 2 times. You know what is y? It is 6x minus 4. So we have 9x plus 1 being equal to minus 2 times 6x. That's negative 12x. Negative 2 and negative 4, that's positive 8. Then you take this to the other side. You'll have 9x plus 12x. It's going to be 9x plus 12x equals to 8 minus 1. Then 9 plus 12, that's 21x. And then 8 minus 1, that's 7. So we have 21x being equals to 7. We divide by 21, divide by 21. Which implies that x is going to be 1 over 7, 14, 21. So x equals to 1 over 3. 7 over 21 is 1 over 3. Then now let's find the y value. The y value, I'm going to take equation 3. 6x minus 4, which is 6 into 1 over 3 minus 4. Then 6 multiplied by 1 over 3, that's 2. 2 minus 4, that's negative 2. So this is the value of x. 1 over 3, then this is the value of y. So until next time, Banabako High. So keep on pushing. This brings us to the end of question 3. It was carrying 10 marks. So now I'm going to move to question 4. Alright, Banabako High. Kisabui. I want question 4. Question 4. Given the linear pattern. Given the linear pattern 1, minus 1, minus 3. Now let's find the difference. Minus 3, minus 3 plus 1, that's minus 2. Minus 1, minus 1, that's minus 2. So which implies that D equals what? Minus 2. but they never said they want the value of D. So 4.1.1. Write down the value of the next two terms of the pattern. So we have term number 1, term number 2, term number 3. They want the next two terms. So it's going to be term number 4 and 5. So T4 is going to be minus 3 plus minus 2. So a linear pattern, it is characterized by the first constant difference. To proceed to the next term, you keep on adding the constant difference. To reverse, you keep on subtracting. So minus 3 minus 2, that's minus 5. Then term number 5. The last term is minus 5, then plus minus 2, which is minus 7. So these are the next two terms of the pattern. I hope it's clear. Then but which term of the pattern will have a value of minus 53? So we know that, let's find the general formula. So our Tn is in the form of An plus B, where A is the difference, which is minus 2n, then plus B. So to find B, so the value of B equals to term number 1 minus D, which is, what is term number 1 is 1, then minus difference is minus 2, which is 1 plus this, 1 minus minus, that's 3. So we're going to have minus 2n plus 3. This is our formula. Alright. Or if you don't want to use this formula, you can use this one. Tn equals to A plus D into n minus 1. What is the first term is 1. What is our difference? Minus 2, then n minus 1. Then we'll have 1 minus 2n. Minus 2 and this plus 2, which is minus 2n, this and this, positive 3. You still get the same answers. Can you see? But the question said, which term in the sequence equals to what? The value of minus 53. So our last term Tn equals to minus 53. What is our formula? Minus 2n plus 3 equals to negative 53. Then you take this to the other side, you take this to the other side. You'll have positive 2n being equal to 3 plus 53, that's 56. And then we have 2n being equals to 56. We divide by 2. You divide by 2. Then 56 divided by 2, that's going to be 28. This will divide with this. Therefore, n equals to what is 28. Therefore, T28 is the one that equals to the value, which is minus 53. I hope it's clear. Then 4.1.3. 4.1.3 does say that determine. Oh, shit. They want the value. So they want the value. Which term? Right, more than 4.1.3 just saying that determine the formula for the nth term of the pattern. So they want us to find the formula. So Tn equals to A plus D into n minus 1. First term Rn is what is 1, then minus 2 into n minus 1, which is 1 minus 2 times this plus 2, which is 3 minus 2n. This is our formula. I hope it's clear. Then 4.2. 4.2, we are given 3x minus 7, 2x, 3x plus 1. And then ellipsis. Then, what these are the first three terms of a linear pattern. Then 4.2.1. 4.2.1. They are saying that if the pattern continues in this manner, determine the value of x. We know this is term number 1, this is term number 2, this is term number 3. So to find the difference, we say T3 minus T2, T2 minus T1. So I will say T3 minus T2 equals to T2 minus T1. What is T3? 3x plus 1 minus into 2x equals to T2 is 2x minus into what? 3x minus 7. Then let's simplify. 3x plus 1 minus 2x equals to 2x minus 3x, negative and negative, positive 7. Then we group the like terms. 3 minus 2x, that's x, plus 1 equals to 2 minus 3, that's negative x, plus 7. Take this to the other side, we'll have x plus x equals to 7 minus 1. X plus x, we get 2x equals to 7 minus 1, 6. So we have 2x being equals to 6, divide by 2, divide by 2. 6 over 2, that's 3. So the value of x is 3. Then 4.2.2. Then 4.2.2, they are saying that which term in the sequence is the first to be greater than 31? Which term? So Tn is greater than 31. They want n. So they want to know which term is the first to be greater than 31. So Tn is greater than 31. What is Tn? It's a plus d into n minus 1 greater than 31. What is a? So we're going to find a. We know what is the value of x. So 3 times 3, that's 9. 9 minus 7, that's 2. So the first term is going to be what? 2. And then what is our difference? So more we know the first term is 2. And then 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2, that's 4. So plus 4 into n minus 1 greater than 31. Then we'll have what? You take this to the other side, we'll have 4n. 4 times n is n minus 4. It's greater than 31 minus 2, which is 4n minus 4 is greater than 30 minus 2, that's 28 plus 1, that's 29. And then we'll have what here? 4n is greater than 29 plus 4. We'll have 4n being greater than 29 plus 4, that's 33. Then we'll have 4n greater than 33. You divide by 4, divide by 4. Then n is greater than 33 all over 4. So now, this is not the solution because we want n. Which term is the first to be greater than? So let's check. What is 33 over 4 in decimal? It's 8,25. So our n is greater than 8,25. Therefore, the first term to be greater than is the next term, which is here we have 8,25. So it's going to be what? 9. So therefore, T9, term number 9 is the first to be greater than 31. So therefore, T9 is greater than 31. Even if you can substitute, we'll see. T9 number 9 is greater than 31. I hope it's clear, which brings us to the end of question number 4. Now I'm going to do question number 5, which is functions. All right. Question 5 does say that the graphs of f and g. So this is f, then this is g. So the graphs of f and g are sketched below. F and g intersect at point A. They intersect here at point A, which is the y-intercept. The coordinates is 0 is to 6. While the graph of g intersect the x-axis at point B. Then point B, the side is 30. So what are the coordinates of B? We know is 3 is to 0 because this is the x-intercept, y is 0. And then now, the first question they're saying that 5.1. And they told us that the two lines, they are perpendicular at the point of contact. So, and you know about perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines, when you take the product of their gradients, you get minus 1. So, if you take the product of their gradients. Determine the gradient of f. They want us to find the gradient of f. And remember, for you to calculate the gradient of a straight line, you need 2 points. So we have only 1 point. So for us to find the gradient of this graph f, we need to find the gradient of g. Then after we take the gradient of g, we multiply with the gradient of f. Then we can find the gradient. So let's calculate the gradient of g. I'll say m for g, for gradient mg for this line. Or the gradient of line AB. Let's say because it's a and b. So the gradient of AB equals to the y value at a minus the y value at b all over the x value at a minus the x value at b, which is nothing but what is the y value at a? It's 6, then minus 0 at b all over 0 minus 3. And the gradient of this graph is negative because this is a decreasing function. Then 6 minus 0 is 6 divided, then you will get minus 2. This is the gradient of line AB. Then now, therefore, the gradient of line AB multiplied by the gradient of f, or the gradient of line f, is what? Is minus 1. Because why? The two functions, they are what? They are perpendicular. So we can say because f at x is perpendicular to what? To g at x. The graph of f is perpendicular to g. Then what is the gradient of AB? Is minus 2. Then multiply by the gradient of line f, we don't know, minus 1. Therefore, the gradient of f is going to be what? You divide by minus 2, divide by minus, is going to be half. And it must be an increasing function, because this is an increasing function, the gradient is positive. Therefore, gradient f is 1 over 2, then you get your marks. Then 5.2. 5.2 does say determine the equation of g. They want the equation of g. So this is a straight line. So the equation of g, this is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, you know, the value of c is what? Is 6. Then now grx is going to be what? Is mx plus c. This is the standard equation of a straight line. What is the gradient of g? Minus 2. Then we'll have minus 2x. Then plus, what is c? 6. Then we're done. Then we'll go to question 6 right away. I hope it's clear in question 5. Question 6, they are saying that given f at x equals to minus x squared, this is a parabola whereby the value of a is negative, is concave down, then grx equals to 6 over x. So this is a hyperbolic function where the value of q is 0. Then they say 6.1. On the same system of x, sketch the graphs of f and g. So let's find the x-intercept for g, the y-intercept for g. The x-intercept, you let y to be 0. So 6 over x equals to 0. So this graph doesn't have the what there, the x-intercept. So let's use the calculator so that we can sketch very fast. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So let's use the table. So this is 6 over x. Mode then f at x. This one we know, G-gamma. This is concave down, no G-gamma. So minus alphabet and then x squared equals to then 6 over x. And then we can start from minus 3. We end at 3 step given. Then let's plot. So we have minus 2 goes with, let's start with f, minus 2 and minus 4, minus 2 and minus 4 here. Then we have minus 1 and minus 1, minus 1 and minus 1. Then 0 and 0, 0 and 0. And then 1 and minus 1. Then 2 and minus 4. So this is the first parabolic function. So this is what? This is f. Then now let's plot the hyperbola. So we know hyperbola. We know that this graph, minus 3 goes with minus 2, minus 3 and minus 2, minus 3 and minus 2 here. So we know that this graph, it doesn't touch the x. Then minus 2 and minus 3, minus 2 and minus 3, minus 2 and minus 3 here. Then minus 1 and minus 6, minus 1 and minus 6 here. You can see the shape of the graph. Then error, it doesn't touch the y because the value of q is 0. And then the value of a is positive, so the graph is going to be something like this. And then the second one is going to be like this. This is x, this is y. So this is our functions. Then this one, it is f. This one is G. Purple. Then now, 6.2. 6.2, they are saying that write down the range of f. Write down the range of f. You know, this is concave down. This is a parabola. So y is less or equals to q, which is y is less or equals to, what is q is 0. 6.3. Write down the domain of G. The domain of G. G is the hyperbola. So the domain of G is x, an element of real numbers. But where x is not equal to what? 0. Then this is the domain of G. 1 mark. Then which brings us to the end of question number 6, which was carrying 6 marks. Bafethu, if you find these videos helpful, Bafethu, please, Bafethu, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, comment, like, and then so that Bafethu, I can keep on doing this kind of videos so that you will be right, Bafethu, so that Bafethu. Until next time, keep practicing, keep improving. From me, LGM. Peace. God bless.